Hello everybody, it's Carrie Elias and I'm back with a process video on how I put together my mini book using the 3x4 page pocket pages that I customized in my first video. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link in the description of how I made the 3x4 pocket pages fit into this 4x4 Instagram album. So this applies for putting my mini book together. Is I had the album, I have some confetti, I had some circle punches, lots of different types of Christmas themed confetti. There are the 3x4 pocket pages that I altered to fit my album. There's the 4x4 that already fit the album. There's some 4x4 Instagram photos. I'm using the Shimelle overlays, these beautiful Shimelle thickers. They look like little gold typewriter keys, some vellum, and then I have some various paper. This is the side that I use of that paper, the Baxter. This is the side I use of the Granville. That's the side I use of that one. I use both sides of the Herschel. I use just that first side of that one. I use the first side of the Reuben. I used not the orange side, the striped side of that one. The Hurley, I used the polka dot side. Harding, I used that side, not the wood grain side. Jameson, I used both sides. And then Hall, I used the numbers side. And then I used the tag side of that red piece of paper. I cut one of the tags out. And then I just used some plain white cardstock. And sorry if I missed some of the names of those papers. It ran through so fast I couldn't read them all. But I think you get the idea. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this is a mini book that I'm putting together. I wanted to share 5 of my favorite things from Christmas time of this year, 2014. So I printed out the word Christmas time onto a piece of vellum, and then you'll see what I had just done was used some vellum adhesive and rubbed the vellum against that, and it puts these fine little dots on the back of the vellum piece so that when you apply it, it doesn't show. The adhesive doesn't show. It's perfect. So it says Christmastime favorites, and I layered it over one of the Shimelle overlays. And then there's one of her beautiful pieces of paper that I had already cut into 4x4. And that's the title page for my mini book, Christmastime favorites. And I have 5 favorites. And I use that beautiful number paper. And I used my pick scan mat with my silhouette and cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 from each of those for each of the pages, each of the 5 different things that I kind of wanted to highlight and remember about Christmas time of this year. So you can see with each page or each set of pages, I use one of the Shimelle overlays over my photo. I have my journaling on some vellum, which I go ahead and attach to my one of my 3x4 sheets of paper. And then on the back side of the 3x4 sheet of paper, I'm taking the number, either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and I'm going to create like a little shaker card of sorts. So I have these pre-cut to 3x4, and I'm going to attach them back to back. And the reason that I'm doing that is because since it's going to be a shaker card, the top of the pocket's going to be sealed shut, and I felt like it would be easier to manage that if the papers were attached back to back. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, so I'm doing that, and I'm just kind of making sure everything fits, and then I'm going to put my my Christmas time pretty sequins in there. There's some snowflakes, some gold sequins, and I used really tall pop dots or foam adhesive, I guess would be the right word, to raise up my letters so that the sequins could kind of fall underneath them and around them easily. And then I just used the Tombow Extreme Adhesive only on the side that the shaker is on, and I just put it at the very, very top. And with most of these papers that I chose, the adhesive doesn't show. Um, there are a couple of them. I think one of the pink ones, you can kind of tell that it's a little bit darker, but it was just such an easy way to make a pocket page, a shaker card. I really don't mind even if it does show a little bit. So the first favorite for this year, I put down our layers, and it's kind of funny because that's in reference to clothing. My husband and I had a conversation the other day about how much we like to, we enjoy this time of year because of all the fun layers that we get to wear. Living in Washington State, the weather here, it's chilly, and so like in the photo I have for the example on this spread, I have a scarf that I also use as a hat, and Ryan was saying that he likes to layer vests with sweaters and jackets, and I don't know, that's something that we kind of both have in common this year. So I put that down as favorite number one for Christmas time this year. And you can see I'm just kind of, for each favorite that I'm listing, I'm using the beautiful Shimelle thickers, and I'm just kind of embellishing the paper, trying to make it look Christmassy and festive. I think that the Shimelle line is beautiful and super fun to use for Christmas time, and I was really excited to make a Christmas theme album using her fun product. So that was page number one, or favorite number one. This is favorite number two. And my favorite number two is Our Happy Home. And it partially might be because I'm pretty pregnant. I'm like 37 or 38 weeks pregnant right now. And so I'm really enjoying, how nice it is to be at home and how comforting it is. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a really happy place to be. So I wanted to make sure to list that because I feel really blessed to live somewhere that I love so much. So I wanted to make sure to verbalize that in my little book. And so for the number two here, you can see I added my text again on that cute black and white polka dot paper. And then I have my number two again cut with the picscan mat on my silhouette, and I'm using these sequins to make my shaker card, and they're just getting everywhere. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but I didn't mind. I think it's kind of fun to have the little extra sparkle everywhere. But so again, I'm attaching my 3x4 pages back to back, and I'm gonna fit them inside my 3x4 pocket page. And the whole reason that I wanted to share this mini book was because I just think that adding in the different size page protectors, the pocket pages, really adds kind of a nice interactive, dimensional, and fun element. So I think having the 3x4 mixed with the 4x4 is super fun. And then I love that I got to use the glitter paper for the base of the binding. I think that it adds a nice little pop of color and touch. And if you happen to watch my first tutorial that I shared on Shimelle's website with my gold leafing technique, you'll have noticed that the mini book that I shared on that project, instead of just doing the pocket pages that did not match up with the ones that already fit the album. I wanted them all to match. So even the ones that were meant, and already fit the album I was using, I altered the binding in the exact same way so that they all matched. And it's kind of cool to see the difference between the two. I think they both look really great. Um, this one I really didn't feel needed um, to have all the bindings match up. I thought that the original page protector binding looked really good with this album. But anyways, just kind of a little fun side note there. Um, so I'm adding the word home again with those beautiful gold Shimelle thickers or sticker letters, whatever you want to call them. And I have my photo and I have one of her beautiful overlays. And I'm going to go ahead and add my pages in for this, my number 2 favorite. And you can see I just used glitter paper that I'd cut into squares to kind of embellish that fun little page that had the word home on it. And I just kind of do that with all the large 4x4 pieces of paper. I just kind of add in a little bit of depth and texture with. So I think I added a little bit of white to all of them to kind of make it so there was a white element on each page of the spread, but then also some glitter elements. So again, I'm using the vellum and the vellum adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and line that up with my journaling card, that beautiful 3x4 card. And I love that all the product that I used for my pages and for the embellishments are from Shimelle's beautiful line. The only things that aren't are the sequins and the glitter paper. And I think it came out really Christmassy and fun. So this is, let's see, number 3, and my third favorite is snow for this year. And it's just, I haven't lived here for very long. I lived here when I was really little, and then I recently moved back, and snow's just not that common in this area. And we were lucky enough to have snow. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving. We had a nice bit of snow, and so I got some fun pictures between Thanksgiving and the beginning of December of some fun stuff in the snow. And so I wanted to make sure to add that into a favorite for this year. And so you can see the sequins I used are some little white sequins, and then I also have some cute little white reindeer in there too. And I could have used some actual like kind of fluffy looking snow glitter stuff, but I wanted to just kind of stick with the sequin theme. So, and then I added in a couple gold ones there, and you can see my photo on the left. I'm standing in the snow, and I used the lovely overlay. And then here I'm making my my shaker pocket. And this one you can see the paper kind of sticks out of the top a little bit, and I think I end up trimming that down just a tad. But for this little page I'm working on right now, you can see I'm attaching some extra little circles that I used with my circle punches. I'm using some glitter and then just some big white circles, and then I'm just going to add the word snow on there. And I mean, it is very simple, but I think all together with the spread, it just, they complement each other. All these pages complement each other really well. And so I think they're really fun. And I kind of fuss with this title a little bit with the placement. I kind of wanted to overlap that blue circle just a tiny bit on the background paper. And I think I end up sticking with that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in my in my album. And yeah, so each spread has the 4x4 with the photo, and then the 3x4 pocket page that I altered in my first video. And I shared how to basically alter any pocket page, um, customizing it to fit any size binder or any size binding. And then I used a second 4x4 pocket page, and that's pretty much it for all 5 favorites for this cute little mini. And because I am doing a December daily this year, it took a little bit of thinking to try and decide what I wanted to, what kind of project I wanted to make, and or what kind of mini book I wanted to make, without using my December daily photos, but something that was still very holiday themed and very Christmassy. And my friend Andrea helped me come up with the idea of doing a little customized mini book that is specific to this time of year. We talked about like favorite recipes, just different types of things that you would, normally save as a list. And so that's how I came up with my 5 of my favorites specifically from this year. And it's going to be interesting to see how my favorites from this year compare to other years, again, because I am so pregnant and I'm expecting my first little girl anywhere from the end of this month to the beginning of next month, so December, January. And yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see how this year compares to next year. So I thought it would be really fun to document, my thoughts. So that's another reason why, in addition to having the photo and then the number and then the actual item from each list, I wanted to actually add in like a little bit of journaling about why, why snow was one of my favorite things, or why our happy home was one of my favorite things. So, because there always seems to be some sort of little interaction or detail that I can jot down that will jog my memory when I decide to go and read it later, which is kind of fun. So again, I'm just adding in a little bit of white and a little bit of glitter paper to the background paper on the right that's going to have my the item from my list. So number 4 on my list of favorites is sweets. And I've always had a sweet tooth, but this year it's like, I don't know, I think probably one of the only cravings I've had from being pregnant is chocolate. And I really like the Lindt white chocolate truffles with peppermint. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And then the spice drops that you get this time of year that's like winter mint and cinnamon flavored. And so I wanted to kind of do a little bit of journaling about that, because even though I don't eat a lot at once, it's kind of nice to have a couple a day, and I don't know, it's just a nice little treat, especially since, a lot of that type of stuff you can only get during this time of year. But I do think that little things like that do add to the festivities of the holiday season. So that's for my page number 4 is sweets, and you can see for the photo I just used a picture of my puppy in the snow, again with one of Shimelle's beautiful overlays. And then I did my confetti pocket, my shaker pocket. And my puppy loves treats, so not that necessarily that has anything to do with Christmas candy, but I don't know. I thought that it was Christmassy, and I thought it worked well. So I am altering the size of this right here, because the size that I cut it out of the 12 by 12 sheet of paper, is not 3 by 4. You can see that I had to trim it down because the size, it was the right width, but it wasn't the right height. That cute little loving ticket off the ticket sheet of Shimelle paper. And so I trimmed that down to 3 by 4, and I think it worked out great. I think it looks really good. And I'm adding in, again, just some white cardstock, and then I'm taking my vellum adhesive and my piece of vellum with my journaling on it, and I'm going to layer that over the top. And I kind of like the dimension that that adds with the vellum being a different size than the white sheet of paper, and of course the background. And then here I am with, again, with my number 5 that I cut out using my silhouette and the picskin mat. And I'm going to create my little shaker pocket. And I just love those colors together. It's like a tan and a pink and a yellow for that background paper. And I think it's going to complement the sequins that I picked out really well, because I have little red Santas and then little white kind of circles. They're like almost octagons, or but they're pretty close to circles. And I'm going to go ahead and create my little shaker pocket here. Those cute little red Santas. And I probably could have been a little bit more careful with how I poured that in there so that it didn't really spill on over to the back side, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to be more of a perfectionist than others, and most of the time I just don't have the patience, the same amount of patience for it anymore. And then again, I just added my Tombow Extreme just at the very top to seal that in so that the sequins don't come out of the shaker part. And you can notice I did not add the Tombow adhesive on the back side. And I have had no problems with the sequins getting over to the back side and falling out. It's worked really well. So I definitely recommend that. And then you'll see for this side, I'm just adding in I think maybe 4 or 5 white circles, again, that I use with my circle punch and just some white cardstock. And then I'm going to fill the rest of the circles in with a green glitter paper that's also circles punched from the glitter paper with my circle punch. And again, I just wanted to do that to add a little bit of dimension. I mean, traditionally, I probably would have added some misting or some ink splatter or some sewing, but for this project, I kind of liked the idea of a little bit of a cleaner look, and so I just did different layers and textures and colors, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it's beautiful in person, and I mean, I think it looks nice on video too, but you know, in person things always look a little nicer. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for my 5 pages. I'm going to add, oh yeah, my 5th favorite is Baby Bump. And again, I wanted to actually mention in the journaling the fact that I am pregnant this Christmas. And, you know, it adds to the excitement, and I feel like it kind of makes time go by a little faster because there's so much to do, and I don't know. I've just really been enjoying it. And so the picture there is a picture of me in the snow that I took with the timer on my camera. And again, I used it with one of the pretty overlays. And that is my last page. I'm gonna go through and just do a quick flip through of everything together. You can see how it all looks. Again, if you want to see the tutorial on how exactly I added the binding to alter those 3x4 pockets to fit in this album, I'll have a link in the description so you can take a look at that as well. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and happy holidays, and have a wonderful Christmas time or holiday season, or however it is that you celebrate this time of year. Bye!